I think everyone here can pretty much agree that in terms of goods and services, everything has been on a gradual decline. Everything's worse than it was a decade ago. I kind of feel like I'm getting ripped off, and I feel like I'm not getting a good deal. I'm paying more for less, and there's nothing I could do about it. I think everyone here at the sleepover can pretty much agree that when you buy a bag of Doritos, let's say, and then you open the bag and there's no chips inside, or there's like 3 chips inside, and you know you paid more for this bag of Doritos this year than you paid for it like 5 years ago. You're not getting a good deal. You're getting ripped off, okay? And I think we can pretty much agree with those who are unemployed and desperately searching for work. Wouldn't you prefer to apply for 5 jobs and get like 3 interviews out of 5 than apply to 1,000 jobs and only get 3 interviews, and some of them are ghost interviews? Find out that they weren't really trying to hire out anyways. Okay? The consensus is the job hunting experience is a lot worse than it was a few years ago, or 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. And there's always a contrarian amongst one of yous, as they say in my neighborhood. Somebody out there might be like, well, actually, I love overpaying for a bag of chips. I love shrinkflation. You know, what I really love, other than going to a job and getting paid, is I love like the unpaid for labor of looking for a job day after day, hour after hour, and then only to find out they weren't really hiring anybody in the first place, or only to interview with AI.
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise.
Or have my like highly qualified resume get dashed and not even make it through the bot filters. So I'm sure there's like a real sick person, a real sickie out there who enjoys that. Why would I want to pay $7.99 for Netflix when I can pay $19.99 for Netflix and get ads? The world is so much better now. You know, there's always somebody. There's always somebody. Just show yourself right now. Tell me how you love paying more for less, and then get the fuck out of here. So, for those of us who do not like this, I gotta tell you a story. Okay, I need my spatula. It's a hot day, guys. It's like 85-degree day, and as Shakespeare said in Romeo and Juliet, which I just watched recently, these hot days is the mad blood stirring. So I need my spatula. Where the fuck is my spatula? Here we go. All right, I got my spatula. I have 2 kitchen utensils in my hand, so this is a good story. This is a story about email. For returning viewers of this channel, know that I'm an author outside of YouTube. I don't the 2 lives don't meet, okay? I'm an author. I have like a small newsletter. I don't have a million followers on Instagram, but let's say I have a million followers on Instagram with algorithmic changes. If I have a new book release and I post a book release, only like 1% of those followers will get notified that I have a new book out. 99% of them will be like, well, I didn't know you had a book out. You know, that's how it is now, okay? It's hard to reach people. Unless you pay for it, unless it's a sponsored post. Teresa's got a new book out. I have to fork over a lot of money to Meta. Then the followers will get notified that she has a book out and maybe buy that book. With an email list, let's say I have 1,000 newsletter subscribers, I am guaranteed that those 1,000 subscribers that opted in and like chose to join the email list will get an email that I have a new book out, or whatever the hell I'm doing. Over a few years, I've been, like building an email list. By the way, I don't like sending out emails, okay? You think being a writer, I like writing emails? No, I do not like writing emails because it takes away. I don't like doing anything that doesn't have anything to do with writing, with the exception of making the book cover. That's it. I like writing it. I like revising it. I love reading over my book over and over again until I'm crazy. If you're not the fan of your own book, then nobody is. The last 3 months, I read over my book 3 times, and every time I'm going like, oh yeah, Teresa, you are so great. So that's what I like doing. I don't like writing emails. I'm pretty sure that we have so many emails in our inbox that we probably don't really want to receive any emails. But, I think what's the lesser of 2 evils? Being at the mercy of a social media algorithm that would probably never promote any news updates I have unless I pay for it, or sending to 1,000 people, for instance, that chose to be on your email list that you have a new book out and they want to read it anyways. So over the course of my author career, I've always had a newsletter. Okay. It was never a big newsletter. I figure, how many do you need? You only really need 1,000 true fans. Any higher, and that's just extra. So I was with this newsletter service. I don't know, for legal reasons, if I can like call them out and shame them. It's not him, but it's the other one, okay? I never, for legal reasons, I never said their name, but I was with this email service and I was on the free tier because, I run a tight ship. I'm a small, humble little writer, okay? My email is like super simple. You'll probably hear from me. I haven't even sent an email in the whole year, okay? I'm also the most frugal person in the world. So all you guys need to know, I was with this newsletter. It was working fine. For a number of years, it was working fine. Then within the past 3 years or so, their service for their customers got crappier and crappier. Their customers were frogs being boiled in water, and that every single year they took something away. One year it was like all these benefits that you used to get in the free tier, now you get like 2 out of 10 of them. And then the rest has been migrated to the premium tier under a paywall. And then also those who are in the mid premium tier where you do pay, all their benefits get migrated to the top premium tier. So now those who are kind of like free bottom feeders in this company's eyes gets nothing. And then the next year they're like, okay, in the free tier, you no longer get 2,000 free subscribers. You get 1,000. So you better start either pay up to keep your email list or you start pruning them. So naturally, I'm like, okay, I'll just prune them. I'll just prune my subscriber list. Some people weren't even opening their emails. Some people were like soft bounces. Some people were marking it as spam. They're gone. I'll just operate with a leaner list. You only need 1,000 true fans, right? And then the next year, with like already a leaner list, I get that email again of like updates to their services. In order to provide you with the best type of services and like the innovation of your company or whatever, for the tier you're on, the free bottom feeder tier, we're now reducing that to 500 subscribers. So you can only have 500. You better start cutting. 500, it really limits your ability to grow as an author, but I'm like, I was really backed into a corner and I'm like, fine, I'll just do it because in my life, the time devoted to thinking about this newsletter and this newsletter list is like 0.1% of my life. Why should I have to pay for it? And I'm on to this goal to go subscription zero. And I kind of like getting rid of things. Like if I feel good. I feel good decluttering and I feel good taking people off my email list that don't open the emails. It's a mutually beneficial thing for both of us, me and the reader, in that they don't care about opening the emails. I don't clutter up their inbox. And it's only reserved for the people who open up the emails 70 to 90% of the time. So operating already on slim margins at a 500 subscriber list, and I even went lower than 500. They come back this year and they're like, we're cutting this tier down to 200 head count. And get this, the reason behind this giant cut to your services and your benefits, they're implementing an AI assistant. Every single change has felt like a punishment. Every single explanation for the punishment has been, we're trying to like shift the resources to help you have a better product, in which case the products has always stayed the same. This time was the last straw, saying like, we've brought in AI for some reason to help better assist you write your email or make a template for your email or whatever. And this is for your benefit. This is for you. And that is why you can't have as many subscribers unless you pay for it. And I'm pretty sure those on the mid paid tier or the higher paid tier, their like subscription price probably went up. Most people who write newsletters know how to write an email, okay? And the reason people subscribe to this newsletter is not to get some generic AI slap email. Hello, how are you today? Oh, the weather is good. They subscribe to this newsletter because they like my writing. They want to get some of that personality or that magic or whatever in the email. They don't subscribe so that an AI assistant can give them a bland as some bland like business memo. That's the thing that will send you into the spam folder. That's the thing that will get you a bunch of unsubscribes. If they sent out a survey to every single one of their customers and asked them, would you rather on the free tier have a 2,000 subscriber limit versus a 250 subscriber limit? Or would you rather have an AI assistant to help you write some emails? I'm pretty sure everybody would be like, yeah, I don't care about the AI assistant. I would rather not have that feature. And I would rather just have the ability to take in 2,000 subscribers and all the built-in features that are now under a paywall. Because they know that's what everybody would want. They would never ask their customers what they want. Instead, they're like, you customer, you want AI, and it's pretty expensive to implement this. So you're going to pay for it. And we're like, no, we don't. We would just rather keep the price it was before. No, 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 no. You're going to have it. You know, guys, on the surface, it may seem like I'm complaining about this email service, this newsletter service. And I am. I am complaining about it because there's no place to complain about it, okay? Fortunately, I have a YouTube channel where I could whack my spatula and complain about things, but there is a very important lesson here on enshittification and consumer consent and AI washing, obviously. You know, all those mass layoffs that's been happening last year, this year, due to AI taking people's jobs. Well, it turns out AI is not really good at taking anybody's jobs. They're just using AI as an excuse to let people go because maybe they hired more than they needed, or they're actually just not doing well instead of saying, we're not doing very well. Our quarterly profits suck. What can we do to find more money? Well, all these people that we're paying, we don't need them. This is a very important lesson in this era we are now in, which is the era of consumers having no say about what they want and corporations and companies just telling you what they think you need and making you pay for it. This is a domino effect over a broad range of goods and services, not just my petty squabbles with this email startup company that I won't name. And I have to tread carefully because there's a lot of things that I can't say. I'm told it's actually very dangerous for me to talk about, like dangerous for me, not for you. You could listen all you want. You're not allowed to trash talk AI without facing consequences. I just want to play this clip right here. It was like from 2022, 2023. It was like very early YouTube days. Please excuse everything, okay? And now that I've put two and two together, I wonder how long I have to live. So if I don't upload something in 3 weeks, then you know that I've cracked the code here. A rich person came up to me on horseback, and like bludgeoned me with their polo mallet. And now I'm laying in the river somewhere, unalived. I've been unalived, guys. Been unalived by Percival. And I was talking about TikTok aesthetics, okay? It was a joke. Some people found it funny. Some rich people called me a communist. It was a different time. But now I feel like it's not that much of a joke anymore. If anybody's hearing this, I have nothing against capitalism. Please don't unalive me. I love money, to be honest. Like I would swim in a pool of coins. Last week I prayed to God to give me $28. I said, "Dear God, I could use $28." It's very specific, but you know, when you speak to God, you have to be specific. And my prayers were not answered, by the way. So, to sum up, not everybody has freedom of speech here. It says everybody has freedom of speech, but you know, to be honest, guys, to be honest, any backsass or critique against corporations is considered radical. I just wanted to complain, okay? There was no place to lodge my complaint. I just wanted to Karen for the common good here. One day, somebody named Percival is gonna hit me over the head with a polo mallet because I said anything about rich people. You know, rich people be dangerous. In fact, why am I even holding up the spatula? I'm dropping it. It's a cooking utensil. It's not a weapon. So, you know, I'm putting my hands up. My name's Teresa. This is the issue of consumer consent or tech consent. Whatever is least offensive. Yeah, not that interesting. So a couple of months ago, there's been a development in that a lot of companies like Microsoft and Uber have come out and said that it actually costs them a lot more to use AI than not to use AI. Like the tokens are draining their coffers and they don't really get much benefit out of it. They're spending a lot for not much in return. So I guess it didn't really take a genius to tell them that. So it could be, you know, the signaling of the first pop of the AI bubble. You know, there was a gold rush. Every single company out there had AI FOMO. Even companies that have nothing to do or no reason to implement AI into their operations jumped on the bandwagon. AI is being shoved down our throats when nobody asked for it. And to take it a step further, features that we want are being actively taken away and locked behind a paywall. I feel like it's some kind of punishment, but it's rephrased as we're doing it for you. This is for you. And it results in squeezing more money out of you. Life is more inconvenient and expensive across all types of goods and services. Don't you agree? But I heard through the grapevine that there are also some companies that still haven't, like I guess, got the message, and they're still dead set on implementing AI into their operations. And I think those are the companies, and if I may be so bold, those are the companies that when this bubble pops, will be left holding the bag. And obviously, when companies make a bad decision, who suffers? You know who suffers? The employees. Those are the people who are going to be out of a job. So that is my prediction. We're in this heavy prediction market. Imagine if guys, imagine if I got a sponsorship with Kalshi and I start shorting this market. It's my game. It's Teresa's prediction market. What if I completely transform, guys? I get myself a green screen and I start playing live stocks where you either go to the moon. I mean, there's only two choices. You go to the moon or you lose your shirt. When I when I talk to God, dear God, and I ask for $28, I could use $28. He did speak to me. He said, "You can't have $28 and thou shalt not gamble." So you're safe with me, but I'm just predicting when a company has nothing to do with AI and then they're trying desperately to get on this bandwagon, implement AI into their operations at great cost to them, which they then pass on to the consumer. That company, I mean, it's just ripe for a private equity firm to just buy them up and then pick them into parts, because that company is not going to last long. If you have any stocks in that company, I suggest you, this is not financial advice. This is not psychic advice, life advice, any advice, okay? What company do you speak of? I don't know. I didn't speak of any. I didn't name any companies. I did not name names. I'm just a person with a spatula. In fact, I plead insanity. I plead the fifth, and I have I don't know, I have a right to remain silent. So that shows you. I like the feel of the spatula, it has good hand feels. I plead the fifth and I plead insanity. Meta now lets anyone use your Instagram photos for AI images. I mean, there it is, unless you opt out, but they don't really tell you how to opt out. All someone has to do is tag your account's profile in a prompt if it's public, and they can use Meta AI to generate an image using your likeness. Ownership of your likeness is debatable. Already existing AI images made with your content will not be deleted. Also notable that Instagram users may be remixing images using AI without your knowledge. You will not be notified. So there it is. I don't know what you think about this, but you can pretty much guess what I think about it. It doesn't sit well with me. Actually, I'm just trying to hold back my disgust with this. I'm actually repulsed. But then at the same time, why am I not surprised? Listen, prior to this little tidbit or development, any nefarious person can go onto your social media accounts and download your images. If they wanted to create an AI image or AI generation of you, they can. But the chances are of them making an AI version of you, just a regular Joe or Jane, versus a celebrity or like a big content creator, I would say pretty slim. Regular people are not big game. But the difference here is it's being sanctioned by the platform. It's being encouraged. Actually, they're working on tools to encourage this. The fact that they're just so blatant, we're not even going to tell you. So somewhere out there, somebody could be using your face. I like the look of this one influencer. I'm going to put them on my book cover. What are they going to do about it? One day I could be scrolling Instagram and I see myself in an advertisement for like diarrhea medication. Every time I have a plaque psoriasis flare up, I feel like I have to hide. It's a good thing I asked my doctor about Skyrizi. Side effects may include headache, stomach ache, diarrhea, mood swings, in some cases depression. Every time I have a herpes flare up. So it's basically saying that they want to turn every single person who has ever used Instagram into a stock model, and I don't know what you're going to do with it. What consent do you have now? And I know that there's always some some people. I could already see some comments going like, I told you so. This is what you people get. This is what you get for being a narcissist and trying to be an influencer. This is what you get for participating in social media. I never participate in social media. Okay, so some people don't even have social media, but like their significant other, for instance, photographs them and, uploads it onto their normal Instagram account. I have plenty of friends who are not influencers. They just post vacation photos as if it was 2007. They post photos of their kids and their Disney trips and all that. Suppose one day somebody's scrolling through one of their accounts and they decide to take a photo of their kid and AI generate a video of their kid. I don't know, for whatever purpose. I don't feel like it's a good purpose. Say there's a brand that's trying to sell some baby clothes. They've taken the image of their kid and made like a baby model wearing a little corduroy romper. Or let's say, for even more nefarious reason, somebody takes a photo, like a prom photo of her 16-year-old daughter. 5 years later, her daughter's trying to apply for a job, and then background checks find that she has an OF account. Like, what the hell? Did her daughter, who doesn't even have an account, consent to have her image being taken just because her mom uploaded her photo? Think about the implications of that. I am so good at thinking of the worst case scenarios. It's actually kind of driving me crazy, but I definitely see that happening. And then you can't say like her daughter was narcissistic, her daughter was putting herself out there, her mom was putting herself out there. Then you have to think about like the many, many, many years the majority of people have been posting on Instagram or Facebook, thinking nothing of it, being completely in the dark and unaware because you're not subscribed to my channel, which you should. There's a lot of people who are not going to read any investigative articles about this because, frankly, a lot of articles are under a paywall unless you find means to read it that some may consider unnatural. And I don't think anybody in their right mind who's ever used Instagram has ever like wrote in, I don't know where you would write in, contacted them, said, you know what would be great? What everybody wants is for random strangers and weirdos to take our images and turn them into AI and not tell us about it. So this is something that has been forced down our throats that I don't think anybody ever asked for. And then this comes in the perfect storm of those, like, I don't think anybody here has ever escaped the ad, the Meta X Kylie glasses. A long time ago, I was vacationing in Japan. There was some guy at the temple at one of the shrines, and then he had Meta glasses on. This was like the first generation prototype or something. I think he actually worked for Meta, and he was being so annoying. It was like at night. It was quiet. Everybody was just taking in the serenity of the temple. He was walking around going, "Meta, take a photo. Meta, what is this? Meta, film this. Meta, what is this architecture? Meta, what is this plant?" He's spazzing out here. And we were all looking at him like, God, you're so annoying. You're destroying the serenity of the shrine here. We're trying to zen. Okay, you're destroying our vibe. Everybody looked at him and then he kind of gave us dirty side eyes. Like, how dare we look at him? And even though these are supposed to be discreet, it wasn't discreet. Because when you're going around talking to yourself, walking around in a circle looking like a fool, Meta, take a photo of these NPCs and shame them. It's annoying, okay? That's the type of tech bro worshiper, like tech bro adjacent persona that these glasses appeal to. And then now I see what they're doing. They're trying to get it in the hands of the West Village girlies with a Kylie Jenner collaboration and redesign to make it look fashion. Unfortunately, I think the end game is to get in the hands of just regular people who don't think anything of it and have no idea what's going on. Like the average 30-year-old mom wears it for fashion and thinks like, oh, this will be a great way to just be hands-free with my phone. I can take a video of my kid's birthday party and everything, not knowing that they're feeding the monster with content and the ability to make AI images of their kids' faces or just map out where they live, map out the world around them. It's another data point, another nugget of information for the company. Obviously, I feel like this tech will inevitably fall in the hands of perverts if it hasn't already. Bathroom perverts is what I'm thinking. If I were a pervert, that's the first thing I would buy. There's always like one or two people in the comment section who gives off the energy of like malicious glee. They're like, good, film those women. That's what you get for existing and dumping me or something, you know? Well, don't count yourself out just yet. One day when you're in a public bathroom, you're at the urinal, and you're just staring at the wall. I'm told that the etiquette with urinals, I would know, is that you have to just stare straight and don't look. But what if you found out that the guy next to you is looking, just peeping over. That's an impressive one you got there, buddy. Meta. Record. It's okay. He's using it for his personal uses. You know, actually, now that I've painted this beautiful scenario for you, I don't think they're half bad. Maybe I should get a pair. I began this video talking about email, and I ended it in a male urinal. You never know where we're gonna go here. Why do I feel like if anybody's gonna use my image for anything, it would be for like a plaque psoriasis video? Ew. Every time I have a plaque psoriasis flare up, I feel like I have to hide myself from the world. It's a good thing I asked my doctor about Sky Rizzy.